36A.
36A. Iboya lehu. It was asked to him. We've been discussing the amount of the type of ne'emanas you need for ascertaining that a blemish got to the animal in an illegal way. So the question is how about aid mipi aid? We have an aid telling us that it happened naturally, but he only heard from another aid. Hearsay. Usually, in terms of chassidus, it doesn't work. However, Ma'ala Eidus Bechor, Ravasi Asar, Rabashi Shari. Ravasi said no, Rabashi said yes. Amalei Ravasi Lervashi Vatana de Beba Menashe Ein Eid Mipi Eid Kosher Elalei Dus Isha. The only time we allow Eid Mipi Eid is by Eidus Isha, by the Aguna case, when her husband leaves to Medina Sayyam and she doesn't know, and so we allow certain cases because we set up her knas to be so grave. So therefore we allow for a more lenient type of Eidus.
But has to leave this one and that one.
Right, she has to leave, she has to pay, she loses everything. Both kids from both are mamzer. Because it's only specifically over there, and also because of the tzarech of Aguna, but otherwise not. So how do you tell me it's kosher for Bechor? So he says, Tani, you should learn, you should say the statement like this: the only time Eid be paid is mutter. It doesn't mean the Eidus Isha for Aguna. It means the Eidus Sheh Isha Ksherla. Any Eidus that an Isha is kosher, so Eid be Eid works also. And over here by Bechor that Isha is kosher, so for sure Eid be Eid should work. Okay. Maremar called him Yemar Shari Bechor. He used to call him. I'm sorry, I skipped. Rabbi Yemar Achsher AVP Eid Bechor. Rabbi Yemar was allowed AVP Eid Bechor. Kari Ale Maremar. So Maremar used to call him Yemar Shari Bechor. Yemar, the one who permitted Bechoros. Okay. He made fun of it. He nicknamed him that. Okay. We hold this mutter. How about a case where we had no idea if this animal was bechor? The one guy comes and says that it's a bechor. And now check out this mum. Right. So regularly, if we know it's a bechor, then he says this is a mum. We don't necessarily believe him. We have to have edus. We said we have to have edus to know maybe the kohen did himself. Kohanim or chashudim. You have to have edus, but over here we didn't know it was a bechor at all.
So it's to the Kohen's detriment that he said this.
Well, it's his detriment because. Well, now do we believe him? Do we believe him that this mum happened naturally? He says this is a bechor. He comes to us. We have no idea he has animals. We have no idea if the animal he has is a bechor or not a bechor. He comes to us and tells us it's a bechor, which means he made it bad for himself, right? But then it has a mum. It has a mum. The question is are we chayshish that he put the mum there himself? And we don't believe Kohanim usually.
But we only knew about it from him, so...
Right. So Micah Mashmalon, it says the Gemara... Yeah, sure. Micah Mashmalon, Shapesha Asra Pesha Hitir. Tanino, we have an exubus already. Isha Shamra Isha Sisha. You see if a woman says I was Isha Sish. Ogrushani. But now I'm divorced. So Nemenes, why? Because Pesha Asra Pesha, the same mouth that prohibited is the same mouth that permitted, which means that we had no idea that she had the status of married woman, so we would have allowed her anyway. So what? So she's the one telling us it's us, she's the one telling us it's mutter, right? So it's a malay l'shaker, right? Why did she have to lie? She could have just been quiet, right? She could have just been, if she wanted to be permitted to get married, even though she's lying and she's really she's this, so let her be quiet. Why does she have to tell us that she got married and she's divorced? Right, so the same thing over here. Now the Talmud Gemara says no. You have to tell me over here about Bechor. Over there, because if she wanted to live be'isr, to get married be'isr, she wouldn't have said anything. Over here, it's not enough that she doesn't say. She can't not say anything. Why? He, the guy who's drinking the Bechor and wants to know whether the mum is a kosher Bechor or not, he can't not say anything. Why? The kachim b'chutz le'achal, he won't eat kachim b'chutz. Right, so therefore he needs Bezdin, he needs the Dayanim to ascertain that it's a real mum. Right, so he needs Bezdin. So therefore, Ema loya pesha asar or pesha hitir. Maybe we won't say pesha asar or pesha hitir. Right, meaning he's telling us that it's a Bechor, right? So he caused the issue. But once he's telling us a Bechor and he comes with the mum, right? Now he needs us to make sure it's a mum. Right? He needs us to make sure it's a mum, because if it's not a mum, he himself won't eat kachar machutz. Right? By an eshesish, we're saying that pesha asar or pesha hitir. If her story isn't true, that she's not a gerusha, right? So then, and she wants to get married anyway, b'isser, so she could have been quiet. She could have not told us anything. She could have lied and told us she was a pnuya, right? Over here, he couldn't have lied and told us it's not a bechor, because he won't eat bechor tam, right? He wants to make sure it's a mum, right? So therefore, he needs bezdin. So therefore, maybe we shouldn't say a pesha asar or pesha hitir. So the Gemara says, meaning maybe really he did put the mum in the bechor, right? Maybe it's a bechor, and he himself put the mum in the bechor, right? If he's a balavera, so maybe he shouldn't have come to bezdin at all. No, he needs bezdin to tell him it's a mum. Otherwise, because he himself won't eat a bechor tam. Says the Gemara, no, but still, the imishum hachi. If he was a balavera that and he doesn't mind making mumin in becheres, so then havashadi b'muma the nikar. He would have made a mum that was nikar, he would have made a mum that everyone knows is a mum. Right, and he's a little bit of a loser if he's a guy who's over Allah and makes a mum, and then he still has to go to bezdin to make sure it's a mum or not. Cut off the leg, it's a mum, right? He doesn't. Right, so he's a shlamazel. Right? If he's right, so that's what the Gemara is saying, that if he's really a cheater and he wants to make a mum, right? So therefore he could have made a real mum. Right, so therefore we do believe him that since he's the one who Gufa told us that it's a bechor, so therefore a pesha asar or a pesha hitir basically has a migu. He could have said, if you really think, if you don't trust me that this moon came naturally, I could have just made I could have not come to bezdin. I could have made a full moon. Okay. Maskil of Mabravashi, what's the difference from the following case? A person rented a donkey to his friend. He says, don't go in the way of Nehar Pekoid. The Ikam Maya. Over there's water. And it's dangerous, you might lose the donkey, I guess. Zil Borcha de Norash. Go in the Norash. In the Norash path, I guess 2 different paths. The Lake Maya. So now what did this guy do? He's all Borcha de Nehar Pekoid. Umis Chamra. He went Nahar Pekoid, and the Chamra died. The donkey died. So he disobeyed, right, the owner of the donkey's directions. So he came back and he told him, yes, I did go in the way of Nahar Pekoid. However, there was no water, right? So you can't. I'm not negligent.
Just dropped dead.
Dropped dead. It has nothing to do with the water. It happened to be there was no water there. Rava said, why should he lie? Right?
He took the other way.
He could have just been quiet, right? And if he was lying and really was because of the water and therefore he would be chayev, and Elamai he's lying because he wants to get out of it, so he could have just been quiet. He could have just said, I went the regular path, the norash, what the owner told me. But Abaye argued and said, Abaye says you don't say Malay l'shakir over here because it's a migu b'makam edim. You don't say Malay l'shakir is a certain type of rationale we have which gives ne'emonis, which gives credibility to the toyin, right? But over here it's b'makam edim because everyone knows that Nahar Pekoid has water. Don't you know that path has water? Right. Well, I don't know if you look up the weather report, but it's something that was so. It happened every single day. As the weather report every single day said that there's mayim. So now you want us to believe you that there was no mayim? I understand that you have a migu. I understand you have a malay l'shakir. Why should you lie? You should have just said you went to. But still, it's a malay l'shakir makam edim, and then you don't lo yamrina. So too over here says the Gemara. You see, you don't say malay l'shakir, right? You don't say pesha asur or pesha hitir. So it says the Gemara, over there for sure there's water, but Hacha Vadai Shadi Bemuma. Do we say for sure a Kayan, right? The Kayan made the mum? No, the Gemara's
here also.
The Gemara's question is, you see, according to Abaye, it's not so simple to say Malu l'Shakar, right? It's not so simple to say Pesha Asar or Pesha Hita. So why should we believe him by Bechor? If we're Chayshish, we're not Chayshish, the Kayhanim make mumim in their animals, right? So then it's like a Malu l'Shakar, B'makam Eidim.
So it's sort of like Eidim that Kohanim are going to make a mum. That's what you mean? It's like a Chazaka. That Chazaka is
right. It's like right. And you have a certain rationale to say, oh, if he wanted to be matter as an animal, he could have made a real mum, right? That's a certain amount of that's a nice svara, right? But it gives a certain monus to the guy, right? But it's b'makam edim, it's b'makam an established principle that we have that we're chayshish the kayhana make mumim, right? So very nice. I understand. Meaning what the Gemara is trying to bring from Abaye's shita is that every time we have a malul shaker, it's not something that's 100%. It doesn't beat Eidim. If we have Eidim versus malul shaker, Eidim still win because Eidim are stronger than Amonas. Yes, malul shaker gives him a little bit of Amonas, but still Eidim are stronger. Right. So too over here. The Gemara is thinking, okay, very nice. You have a svara to say why would he lie? Why would he come to Bezdin? Let him just make a real mum. Okay, I don't know, says the Gemara, but still we're chayshish. We're always chayshish. It means the kahanim are muchzak that they make mum. Then the Gemara says no, it's not true. Over there, hasam vadei kamai. Over there, this is for sure water. The weather report said every single day, the whole year, there's always water. Now, mitamol, the guy is saying that there's no water. We don't believe him. But hasam vadei shadi hacha. They changed the hacha by Bechor. Vadei shadi b'muma. No. We don't say that Kahana for sure make mums. When it's just a chash, and we don't know whether to believe him or not, so we say Malay l'shaka. Why should he lie? If he wanted to lie, he could have just made a real mum. Okay. Yosef Ravina v'karmel ha'ishmaitz b'lei gavra. Ravina said this entire. He didn't start b'shem Amr of Ila. Right. We started the sugya Amr of Ila. So Yosef Ravina. The Kamalai Shmaitik like Avram le Rava Zuti, the Ravina so Rava Zuti, small Rava told Ravina, Anan Mishmeid Rav, maybe young Rav, I'm not sure, said Anan Mishmeid Rav Ila Matznin Allah. We say this in the name of Rav Ila. Okay. Rav Tzadok have le Bukhra. Rav Tzadok had a Bukhra Male Sari Bisali. He put barley in a sal. Nasre Kaile Aruva
in woven baskets made of peeled willows. Nasre are what? Are pieces of wood. The sal is a basket. The basket was made of nisarim. I guess nisarim are like pieces of wood. Woven baskets.
Kaile means woven. What does Kaile mean? Okay, either way, it was a basket made out of
peeled willows.
So the sheet has a little change in the gears.
Right, they change. They take Okay, so there was a basket. Now the basket was sharp. The point is that the zarovis, the arova kalufa, because it was peeled and the kitzer was sharp. What happened was he gave his bechor to eat from this basket. But how did as I was eating, ivza sifse. The lips ripped. The lips, meaning the lips got bruised. The lips ripped. The lips of the Bukhar got ripped because of the basket. So also the made of Yeshua. So they came from Yeshua. Have we ever made a chilik between a chaver and amoretz? Meaning, why should we believe you? You are Rav Tzadok. You're a kohen. You had a Bukhar. Right? I understand this is your story, right? But we don't believe Bechor. You need Eidim. We need an Eidus that it didn't happen, that it didn't happen, that you didn't make it. Yeah, you need Eidus that it happened naturally. And how were we? But what Elma? You're a tzaddik. You're a rav. You're a chaver. Still, klum chilaknu ben chaver lamaretz. We never made a chilik between chaver lamaretz. Omar loy Rav Yeshua hein. I guess he asked him. The first one is Amar Leid. Tzaddik told him, "Klum chilaknu ben chavel amaretz."
We did make a chilak.
Amar Leid, yes, we did. So you're right. You are Neman. Also, the Kamei de Rabban Gamliel Amarlei. This is sarcastic. This he told him, were we mechalik bin chavan amoritz? So you're not Neman. I'm sorry. Same thing. The same thing. Amarlei klum chilak bin chavan amoritz. Amarlei Gamliel loy. Gamliel tells him no. Right. So by both of them, he asked him. He first asked Rabbi Yeshua, maybe.
Why do you go big for Rabbi Gamliel if he has a psak already?
I don't know. I'm not sure. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to go. Right to another one. Once you have.
He's snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
I'm saying it's not even
right.
It doesn't ever.
Okay, we'll see. This is at the time when Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Yeshua were both the head rabbi. Okay, either way, both, if he first asked Rabbi Yeshua said yes, that's a good chilik, and therefore you're Neman. Then he asked Rabbi Gamliel the same question, and because I'm a chaver, maybe I'm Neman. He says no, still not. Omar Lei, so he tells him back for Rabbi Yeshua. Omar Lei, Rabbi Yeshua told me yes. Omar Lei, he told him Hamten Achiyalu Balei Trisin L'Beis HaMedrash. So wait until the Balei Trisin. Balei Trisin, Rashi says, are shields. The people who have shields. The Tamid Chacham who know how to shield from questions. Right? If I ask questions, they'll be able to shield Rabbi Yeshua from my questions. So wait till the Yalu Balei Trisin L'Beis HaMedrash. So Kevan Shenichnesu, once they all came in L'Beis HaMedrash, Omar Dashoel L'Shoal. So the same, I guess, Rav Tzadok got up and he asked the same question. Klum chilaknu ben chaver lamartz. Did we make a chilak, or even a chaver is not neman? Amar Rabbi Yeshua lav. So Rabbi Yeshua said, not lav. He said no. Oh, he changed his tone. In the beginning he said yeah, right? Amar Rabbi Gamliel. V'aloi mishimcha amru li, and I, in your name, they told me yes. So he said, Rabbi Gamliel said, Yeshua amoid. Stand up, and let them be made in what you said. So Omar Rabbi Yeshua al Raglo ve'Omar Heach Easeh. He says, what should I do? If I'm alive and he's dead,
saying words and brachas.
Right. So he says, he says I could if the person, meaning Rav Tzadok, who I originally told Hain that he is Neman, if he was dead, so I could deny him. He's not here, so I could deny. I never said such a thing. But now that he's alive, we're both alive. How could a live person deny what he's still alive? He heard it, so he can't deny him.
You're talking like Rabbi Shuli. I would have lied if he wouldn't have.
Right. So he says, Ella, he's like, I can't deny it. Ella, Rashi explains, what happens was I was chayzer. You're right. I did hold that originally, but this is, now I changed my position. So, Rabban Gamliel continued darshaning, and Rabbi Yeshua was still Oymid al Raglo. Because originally Rabban Gamliel told him to stand, and he never told him to sit. Rabban Gamliel just continued the speech, and Rabbi Yeshua was stuck standing. He couldn't sit down because that would, I guess, be going against what Rabban Gamliel said. He needed permission. Until everyone was talking about how it's not nice for Rabbi Yeshua to keep him standing, and they told the chutz v'sameturgman amoid stand, meaning the meturgman, I guess, is running the show. He's the one that's screaming the shiur to everybody. They told him stop, stand up and finish up already, and so he stopped, and then Rabbi Yeshua was able to. It stopped embarrassing Rabbi Yeshua. Okay, either way, we see this is the discussion over here whether or not a chaver and amoritz, a chaver is neman or not. Rabbi Yeshua seems to have first said yes, and then he was chaver. Okay, masisa neman akoyin lemer reisi buchar zeh balmum. A koyin is neman to say, I showed this mum and I showed this buchar and it's a balmum. Rashi says uvilvachi hula edim shelo yitilu. He still needs edim. Meaning, I guess even though we don't know, we didn't see him take this bukhar to a chacham. We didn't see he had a bukhar, right? We didn't see him take it to a chacham and get that approval that it's a real mum. He says I did. He says, oh no, I took it to a chacham. So neman akoyin loymar reisi bukhar zeh bal mum. Okay. Amar Yehuda Marav. Neman akoyin loymar bukhar zeh nasan li Yisrael b'mum. The same thing is true that a kohen is believed to say that this Bechor Yisrael gave me the mumah. Meaning I don't need to. Meaning I'm Neman. Right? A regular Bechor is not Neman to say that this is a mum. But if a Kohen himself has a Bechor, he can't say, oh, a mum happened, right? You need Eidos. But over here he says, no, Yisrael gave it to me already with a mum. If he says that, then he's Neman. My time. Well, what's the difference? Why does he believe? He says, anything that we're able to know, it's something that's going to come out. So people are not no, people are not going to lie, right? So to over here, if you claim that Yisrael gave it to me after I had a mum already, oh yeah, where's this Yisrael, right? It's something that we were going to find out if it never happened. It's Milsa David L'Gulu, right? So Amar Rashi says Afananavi Tanina. We also learned this in our Mishnah. Nemon HaKoyin Lamer Ha'esi B'char Zeh Ubal Mumu. The same thing is true in our Mishnah, and that's really the reason why in our Mishnah is Nemon. The reason why a Kohen is allowed to say, I showed this mum Ubal Mum, my time, Allah Mishum Darmin and Kol Milsa David L'Gulu L'Meshakar Bench, is not because of the same thing that if he's lying and he never showed it to a Chacham, we're going to find out. The Chacham is going to say, no, I never, someone's going to look into it, and the Chacham says, no, I never was matir, right? So the Gemara says, no, Hasam hu dekachim b'chutz le'achil. Over there, it's because maybe by Milsa David L'Gulia we don't believe him, meaning we don't know this concept for the Mishnah. The reason why by the Mishnah he's believed because he's not going to eat kachim b'chutz. And he himself wouldn't have eaten it if not. What's the Mishnah saying? That we believe him that he showed it to a Chacham? Yeah, we believe him that he showed it to a Chacham because we're not choished a Kohen to eat kachim b'chutz. So must be he did show it to a Chacham. Okay. Right, so Hasam hu dekachim b'chutz le'achel. If it's a question of whether the Bechor has a real legitimate mum or not, Avada we believe the Kohen because he's not going to eat kachim b'chutz. Aval hacha, but over here you have no right. By the case when Yisrael is tining, right? When a Kohen is tining, I got it from Yisrael, and Yisrael gave it to me with a mum, right? So then maybe just because it's a Milsa David L'Gulu, you won't believe him because maybe Kevin Dechshidi. Once we suspect Kehanim, we suspect him, even though maybe you might taina. Oh no, he's not lying because it's going to come out. So we're going to find out that Yisrael never gave it to him. No, maybe you don't say that. Okay. So either way, what we're saying is that there's no right from the Mishnah. If someone tells someone who's not Neman al Meiser, Kachli Mimishu Hu Neman. Let's say you have a shliach, and you tell this shliach who he himself is not Neman al Meiser. You tell him Kachli Mimishu Neman or Mimishu Me'aser. Take being by Paris, like I want fruit. Right? I tell my friend who I know is not makbid on Meiser, right? But I tell him, buy me from someone who's makbid on Meiser, right? Buy me from someone that's never on Meiser, buy me mishu ma'aser, from someone who is maser, so ain't them. You don't believe him, I'm mine. Says the Gemara, why not? Name a kol milsa David L'Gulu, let me shakar be'inchi, right? I'm going to end up asking him, who'd you buy it from, right? And he's going to say from Yankel. And if he's lying, I'm going to see Yankel tomorrow. I'm going to say, did he buy fruit or did he not buy fruit, right? So why? So he wouldn't lie. Says the Gemara, Shani Hasam, the Islay Lishtamute. Over there, the reason why he's not Neman is because he can get out of it. He can escape from the question. The guy's going to say, you went to someone who's Neman. Who'd you go to? You went to Shimon. Shimon's not Neman. He's going to say, oh no, I thought Shimon was Neman. Meaning I told this guy to go to someone who's Neman. He's going to pick who he thinks is Neman. Right? And I am going to come tomorrow, I'm going to say, what do you mean you took from a guy who's not Neman? Right? How could it be? I'm going to find out, right? Because it's a Milsa David L'Gulu, so I'm going to find out who's subjective. Right, so he said, exactly. It's subjective because this guy says, oh no, he is Neman to me, right? And I say, to me he's not Neman, right? So therefore the guy can get out of it, and therefore we don't trust him. He's not going to look bad. He's going to be able to get out of the taina, and he's going to say that really I do believe it. Seifa Vadai Messiah.
Seifa the Mishnah Levi.
Seifa Vadai Messiah, meaning the next part of the Mishnah. Meish Ploini. If I say go buy from each plani. I raise a naman. He's naman hasam gave him isli toiveya. I'm sorry. The word says seifa v'adam Messiah. The seifa should be a proof. Why? Because it says me each plani I raise a naman. If he says go bring it from this plani, then he's naman. Why? Because milsa David ligluye. Right? So the word says no hasam kevan the isli toiveya mirtat.
You won't mess around.
Over there, it's a much stronger milsa David ligluye, meaning in a regular. Over here, he actually said the guy's name. He told him who to go to. So in that situation, we assume, of course, right? Of course, he's naman because that's for sure. The guy's gonna call him up, right? The guy's for sure gonna call him up. He's gonna say, "Did he buy from you? I want you specifically to buy from him." Right? So over there, in that situation, he's so makbid, so for sure the guy is gonna do it. But in a case where the guy didn't actually say the name, and it's just a milsa David ligluya, it's something that might will come to light, but it's not mamish like the guy is so makbid, so then maybe we're not going to maybe he's not naman. Okay, stop here. We had a statement we said before that a kohen is naman to say b'chor ze nosan Yisrael b'mumay. The kohen is naman to say that Yisrael gave it to me b'mumay. Because of a milsa David ligluye, something that people are going to notice. Omer, yeah. So Omer Yumi bar Abba. Okay, we tried bringing a proof in the Mishnah. We said there's no proof in the Mishnah. But Omer Yumi bar Abba minole li Yehuda ha. How does Yehuda? Yehuda was the one who said the statement. Omer Yehuda Omer Rav. It says minole li Yehuda ha. How does he know this statement with the name Rava? I know begidul kavate. It's because I taught it to Gidul. The Gidul kava b'didei, and the Gidul taught it to him. Right? The hachi omarti lei. I guess but this is what I told him. Neman Yisrael loymar bechor zenosati lekoyen v'mumay. That a Yisrael is allowed to say that I gave this. Meaning, if we ask the bechor, we ask the kohen, where did you get this bechor from? Right, that has a mum, and then the Yisrael pipes up and says, "I gave it to him b'mumay." The Yisrael is naman. Not that the bechor is, not that the kohen is naman to say he got it from Yisrael b'mumay. The Yisrael is naman to say that he gave it to a kohen b'mumay. Right. So you said the statement backwards. Right. So the Gemara says, if so, Yisrael pshita. It's pashut. Obviously, why Yisrael is naman on a bechor. Right. The Gemara says, leitzarch bekotten v'higdil. It's talking about he gave it to him when it was small. V'higdil, and then the animal got bigger. Ma'odetema leikimle. Let's say maybe the Yisrael doesn't really remember right that this is the animal, right? So therefore, there's no edus over here that this animal had a mum. Maybe not. He thinks he recognized it, but it's not really the same animal. Kamashmela know that we do trust him; it's the same animal. In Surah they used to say like the last version that we just said, that it's talking about the Yisrael is Neman. The Pavadisa Kolish Nakama, that the Kohen is Neman. Vilchas Afil Kolish Nakama. The Allah is even like Kolish Nakama that since it's a milsa David ligluye, if the Kohen says that I got it from Yisrael b'mumay, he's Neman. Ra from Bepumpadisa Havalei Buchar. He had a Buchar. He gave it to a kohen without a mum. I guess the kohen would have to wait for the mum to happen, right? So Ozal Shada b'mum. Then the kohen went and made a mum. So one day, Rafram had eye problems. He couldn't see. He couldn't see well. His eyes got weak. So I said the kameh. He brought it in front of him. Omarlei tells him back, "Bechor ze nasan li Yisrael b'mumay." He says, "It's more for me to eat this because Yisrael gave me this animal with a mum. It already came to me with a mum." So Arpesina le'einei. So he cleared his eyes out or something. Rashi says, "Pasach einei b'koyach." He opened his eyes with b'koyach because usually in cholash einei he couldn't see well. Right, but over here he exerted himself to be able to see, and he looked at the animal, and Chazeh b'shakar, and he saw that he was lying. Amalei tells it because he recognized the animal, right? Rafram is the one who gave him this animal without a mum, right? And then he came back and he said he found a day that he couldn't see, right? He tells him, look, Yisrael gave it to me b'mumay, right? And then Rafram opens his eyes. And he says he recognizes the animal, so he saw that he was lying. So Amarlei, do you have telach? Is this not the animal that I gave it to you? You lied, and you told me that you got it from Yisrael b'mumay. Right? So you see this taka happened where the guy lied. And still and still Rafram didn't, because he wasn't chayzer, he wasn't chaylik on the previous statement. He still agrees to the halacha that a kohen is neman. That a kohen is neman to say Yisrael gave to me. This guy, hi hu dechatzif, kulam lich. Whatever. This guy's a chatzif. This guy doesn't care, even though it's a milsa David legluye, right? But to everyone else, we assume that they would care, so they're not so chutzpahdik. So he is neman. Okay, who's sarua doesn't come in there. Rashi, there was a sarua. Sarua is a mum where one eye is bigger than the other. So this is it's a much stronger mum because you don't need a chacham, right? It's born this way, right? So there's no chashash that the kohen made the mum because it was born this way. Obviously, it's a natural mum. Okay, so Rav Ashi Omar, what should we be chayshish? Ikayin who Yisrael who are Bucharu Muma Imai. Whether it's a kain who's bringing it or it's a Yisrael who's bringing it, Harei to Bucharu Muma Imai. The mum's there, obviously, right? Obviously,
it's not something the person could sin.
Yeah. So Rav Ashi V'Dom Yisrael who maybe it was Yisrael. Amar Yehuda Ein Rein Buchar Yisrael. You don't paskin about a Buchar Yisrael Elim Kein Kain Imai unless there's a kain together with him. Why not? We're chayshish, maybe the Yisrael is not going to give it to the Kayan. So this is what Yehuda says, that if you have an animal that's b'chor, you're not sure if there's a mum, the Yisrael comes to you, you don't paskin for the Yisrael unless there's a Kayan there, because we're chayshish, maybe the Yisrael is going to keep it, he's not going to give it to a Kayan. So, no, he's not allowed to. He'll be Gazlan, it belongs to a Kayan.
Why would he do it?
I guess we're chayshish, I don't know. That's what he holds.
Kill somebody, then
yeah, maybe this guy doesn't care about Gezel. Okay, so he says maybe, right? So maybe that's why. That's why we shouldn't necessarily allow this sarua, right? This sarua animal that had one big eye, one small eye. Maybe we shouldn't allow it because the kayin needs to be there. So Amar Lei doesn't make no hachi hashta. Hasam nihida kachim b'chutz le'achil. Right over there, the reason why he's coming to a chacham is because he doesn't want to eat kachim b'chutz. Right, that everyone, even a gazlan, won't eat kachim b'chutz. Therefore, he has to know that it's a mum. But when the kayin chashid, but we're chayshish, there has to be a kayin there just in case he doesn't want to give it to a kayin. He wants to give it for a kayin. Hacha michdi. Yoda dahi mum muvak. Everyone knows this mum is muvak, meaning it's 100%. Everyone knows that it's 100% a mum, right? So why did he come to the chacham b'chlal? If he wants to steal it from a kayin, why is he coming to the chacham? My time asiyu kamei rabbana. What must be mishuk vayda the chacham? He wants to show cover to the chacham that he's asking him a shayla. He's asking him if it's a mum or not. So he's giving cover to the chacham. So kvayda the chacham loy ovar. He doesn't want to transgress on the honor of a chacham, and he gives him all his becharas to check. He's sort of avad. He's going to do an isser. Meaning, so over here, there's no reason to be chayshish because if he's a gazlan, right, so he's for sure not coming to the chacham over because it's so noticeable. Only a situation where we're not sure if the guy himself is not sure if it's a mum. So the reason why he's coming to a chacham is because he needs to know it's not kachim. He needs to know that it's that he's not eating kachim b'chutz. Therefore, in that situation, we're chayshish and there has to be a kain there. Matznisan. Akol neman al mumei meiser. Everyone's neman al mumei meiser. Even the BeiRav, everyone's neman al mumei meiser. My time, says Gemara. Because he could have made a mum in the animal before, right? If he wants to get out of meiser behema, right? So he could have made a mum before. So therefore, we believe him that he didn't make a mum after. Says the Gemara, miyada haynafik. Does he know which one's going to come out the 10th one? Right? Do you know which one is going to be the 10th meiser behema that he's going to make a mum before? Says if you tell me, yeah, mafik liberesh asara. He sets it up so that it should be the 10th one. Right? So the Gemara says you can't do that because lo yevakir ben toiv l'ra. You're not allowed to. The Torah says you're not allowed to choose whether a good one or a bad one comes out the 10th one to be meiser. Lo yevakir ben toiv l'ra. You can't choose. So you're not allowed to do that. Right? So again, so how does he talk? There is no way he'll be able to make a mum before because he doesn't know which one it's going to be. So the Gemara, right. He's able to make a mum in all of them, and then they'll all be patur from meiser. So from the fact that he could do that, we believe him that a mum happened afterwards. Okay. Masnisin b'chor shenismis einoi. If you have a Bechor that was blind, Shnikta Yada, or his hand was cut off, Nishbar Ragla, his foot was broken, or is he Yishachet al Pi Gimel B'nei HaKnesses. So this is again a mum that everyone, that it's obvious, it's very obvious, it's not a tough question of whether it's a mum or not, everyone knows this is a mum. So therefore, you can shecht it al Pi Gimel B'nei HaKnesses, just 3 people in the Beis HaKnesses, 3 random people, doesn't have to be Chachamim. Even if there are 23 Bnei HaKnesses, it has to be like a mumcha. Right? And it's a chiddush, because Reis is saying this is even though, right? This is even though it's such a blatant mum. Everyone knows this is a mum. Still, the din is you need to have chacham. That's what you need to have a mumcha. That's what Reis says. Okay. They both said in the name of Rabbi Shimon Levi. The Amri some say Rabbi Shimon Levi Tarvayim Shimon Rabbi Nesiya. What did they say? Ataras bechor b'chutz la'aretz to be matter bechor in chutz la'aretz, meaning in a case chutz la'aretz. Rashi says that in chutz la'aretz, even the Zman Beis Hamikdash, they would not bring. You're not mechuyev to bring your bechoros from chutz la'aretz to Eretz Yisrael. That's what Rashi says. Either way, the nekuda is that it's Bizman Shein Beis Hamikdash Kaim. In a time when there's not a bechor is not going to be a korban, right? So then. The hatorah of that bechor is al pi shloisha b'nei HaKnesses. Amar Rava, and Rava says move hakim. It's talking about it could only by move hakim then that you can rename shloisha b'nei HaKnesses work with and not move. It says more mashma tanina. We have a mishnah. Bechor shenis v'seina v'shnikli yadim shniu ragla rezi shloisha b'nei HaKnesses. Our mishnah. It says more imas tisan have amina. And the Gemara is assuming that the Mishnah is talking about chutz la'aretz, because the Mishnah is talking about Bisman Hazeh and Bavel or whatever. It's talking about even chutz la'aretz. So even Masisa Havavina b'chutz la'aretz, afilu women she'ein muvakim. If not for the statement from the Amoraim, I might think that when the Mishnah says that you can be matal, they give a b'char, I would think afilu women she'ein muvakim. I would think it means since it's in chutz la'aretz, where anyway it's not going to be a carbon, we're matal even women that are not movable. So why did we say why did we mention specific women which are so blatant? This is to show you that Rabbi Yasi goes to the extreme to say that even in that situation you need mumche, right? But Avad the Chachamim would agree that you don't need blatant mumim. Kamash Malan, no, that even the Chacham hold it has to be mumim hakim. Okay, so that's what the Amoraim were teaching us. We're not sure if he said in the name of Rav or Safek Shmin Shmuel that Gimel Maternas of Bechor b'makom she'ein mumcha. The Gimel are matter the Bechor in a place that there's no mumcha. Ma'akam Mashma l'seg Martanina rezi shachet al pi Gimel b'nei HaKnesses. It's a Mishnah. Says Im asisin avamina b'makom mumcha. I might think that it's dafka b'makom mumcha. I'm sorry. Even b'makom mumcha. Even when there's a mumcha, I would think the Pshat Mishnah is even if you could go to a mumcha, you don't have to go to a mumcha. Just because it's such blatant woman, just go to regular people who aren't chachamim, and they'll paskin for you. It's fine. Amash Malon, either Rav or Shmuel, whoever it was, but they taught us that it's only b'makom she'ein mumcha. But l'chatchila, if there's a mumcha, you have to go. Kamash Malon b'makom she'ein mumcha, ein b'makom she'yesh mumcha lo. Amar b'chiyah bar Amram, gimel matirus ha'bechor b'makom she'ein mumcha. The same thing. Also, gimel matirus ha'neder b'makom she'ein chacham. If there's no chacham, then you just get 3 regular people and they're matir the neder. Gimel matirus ha'bechor b'makom she'ein mumcha. What's that teaching us? Lefukim Rabbi Yasi. Right? This is lefukim Rabbi Yasi. Tell us that halacha is not like Rabbi Yasi, because Rabbi Yasi holds that non-mumchim cannot pass it. Shloishim b'firnus ha'neder b'makom she'ein chacham. And that's lefukim Rabbi Yehuda Tanya. First the door in Begimel. V'daimer echad mem chacham. Has to be. Yehuda says at least one of them has to be a chacham. We're saying over here that if there's no chacham, so it's fine. Says the Gemara b'makom she'ein chacham kegoyin man. What does it mean that there's no chacham? What type of chacham is considered a chacham? And right, so Amar Nachman kegoyin anu. If he's there, that's a chacham, right? You have to bring it to the chacham. But if there are people that are less of a Talmud Chacham than Reb Nachman, right? So that's already considered there's no Chacham, and you can go to Hedyotis, to regular non-mumcha. Rabbi Omer Echad Ben Chacham Michlal Dehanach called who? That the other ones can be nothing. Meaning, it sounds like one of them has to be a Chacham, the other ones mamish don't have to know anything. Ravina the Mistavri Levisova. it means that you teach them the halachas a little bit, the halachas nedarim, to know what they're doing, and they learn and they understand, then it's fine. But not that they can't know nothing. Okay. Finish the Mishnah. Rabbi Eliyahu Raful Yesham Chav Gimel. Amru Chanan Amru Rav. Ein halachah Rabbi Eliyahu. Lachna like this. Pshita. Yochav Rab Lachah Rabim. Yesi is Dasichi. Dasichi. The Tanakam is Chachamim. It's Rabbi. Ma'odetem says more. No. We know that Rabbi Yesi is Nimukei Imar. Rabbi Yesi always had his reasoning. Therefore, maybe we trust Rabbi Yesi more, and maybe the halacha should be like him. Kamash Malon not. Says more. Tifshat Mahadehach. Since we should tifshat meo, we should learn from this statement that says that Rabbi Chanan Omer Rav. That Rav said Ein halachas Rabbi Yesi, we should learn from there. The Hach Kamai says Mishmei Shmuel. That this previous statement that we heard, that we said we weren't sure if it was Shmuel or it was Rav, right? We should be able to know which one it is now. Why? Because we should say that it's Shmuel. Why? Mishmei Shmuel Itma. Why? The Mishmei Rav. Because if it's Rav, so then Tarti Lamali. Why does Rav have to tell me twice that the halacha is you could be soymech on non-mumchim, right? One time he tells me you can soymech on non-mumchim, another time he says the halacha is not like Rabbi Yossi, right? Why do you have to tell me twice? So it must be, he didn't tell it to me twice, that was Shmuel, right? We're Mesopik if it was Rav Shmuel. So let's say that was Shmuel and he didn't say it twice. And where it says no, maybe not, maybe it was really said once, right? Maybe it was only one statement and then it was just, it evolved into two separate statements which are really saying the same thing in a different format. It's really, who said it was two separate statements? Maybe it was one statement and therefore maybe it was still Rav. Okay, Ad Kan.